Welcome back to Girl Talk. As promised, we are chatting today with the Academy of Hwarangdo, and joining us, we have Billy Bess and Charles Dean, and we are so glad to have you here at the fabulous Bella Domicile, and your first time here, right guys?
Yes, it is. Correct. Yeah, thanks for having us.
Yeah, we're glad to chat with you today. We talked to the folks earlier that we were going to have you on to tell us a little bit about some safety precautions during the holiday season, and perfect timing to talk about this. So give us kind of the 1, 2, 3, the rundown on some seasonal safety precautions, what we should be thinking about.
Well, first of all, we're actually working with a lot of our kids right now. Due to the daylight savings times, it gets dark pretty fast.
Yes, very early.
Yeah, so we want to make sure that the kids are, practicing safety precautions, making sure that when they come home from school, they come home directly after school. If they're playing outside, to make sure that they're staying in well-lit areas. Just to make sure that they're always in, a parent's eyesight or in an area where people can hear them if something were to happen. So just one of those things that, again, from our students throughout the community, we want to make sure that, people understand that.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
So what kind of advice do you give children, or what specifically do, I guess, you teach to take these precautions?
So in our schools, we cover all of those same things that Instructor Dean just talked about, and all of the things that we've covered in the other topics. And we just want to make sure that not only for the kids, but for the adults too, as we get into this busy season where extra stuff is happening, we just stick to those really basic principles.
Yeah. So what kinds of things do you talk about for adults?
Like we've talked about, like when you're walking to your car, how to be loud, right, rather than meek and maybe with a soft voice. Is it kind of along those lines?
Well, I mean, all of those things definitely still apply, but for adults, this is the time of year where, just like we've talked about, unfortunately, criminals are looking for easy targets, and because of all the extra activity, we have to take extra precautions. So some of that can be as simple as making sure that if you're going to donate money to a charity, that it's an actual legitimate charity. That's a way that people are taken advantage of. This is the type of year where, account scams happen more, so check your bank account regularly as you're going through extra transactions, making sure that all of that stuff's good. And then, the last little piece of that is, when you're out and you're doing your shopping, bring as much money as you need. Don't take everything and put it in your purse or your wallet in case something happens. Don't have the back of your vehicle filled up with gifts. Make sure everything's secured. All of those basic ideas.
And kind of going back to the kids, with the recent missing child that happened in Milwaukee. The whole Amber Alert, went out on that. And,
right, in Milwaukee.
Yeah, we want to make sure that that kids just understand. Play with other friends. Make sure again if there's a stranger, if there's someone that's approaching, be loud and just make sure that someone can hear. If there's a problem, if there's danger.
Right, these are such, you think like such basic things, but they need to be taught this by someone.
Yeah, I think you have a tendency, even as adults, when you're out and about, to sort of have a sense of safety and security, especially, we live in a nice area here in Madison, you're shopping at malls, you're not thinking necessarily that something's going to happen, but to your point, you're carrying maybe extra money, and people are looking to take advantage of you, and it's not always the person that you may think, in terms of when you're kind of out there looking, and kids too, just making them aware and, not taking for granted that they know. So that's really good tips, and that's a lot of what you guys do, is just working on those basic safety precautions.
Really basic structure that just puts together a system of protecting yourself from all angles. That's our goal.
Let's kind of talk a little bit about martial arts, specifically in conjunction with Thanksgiving. Let's talk about how some of the tie-in is there.
I'm super curious about this because I can't even imagine.
Yeah, typically where we're starting, we talk to our kids about understanding the value of Thanksgiving, first of all. Not just, pigging out and, having a couple days, home from school and playing video games all weekend.
That's not what we're supposed to do.
There's football involved.
That's right, that's right. But, we actually do food drives at our schools, so the kids are involved in that, and I think it really helps teach the value of, understanding what's happening in the community. Not everyone's going to have access to a great Thanksgiving meal and have access to their families. So to get them out into the community, so you know, they can kind of see and have a better feel as to what's out there. So the food drives at all 3 of our schools are really big, you know, important things that we're doing at this time of year right now.
Yeah, I think that's a great tie-in because there's so much tradition and respect involved in what you're doing, and we need to remember that about some of the holidays we forget sometimes.
Oh my gosh.
Real quick before we go, we're gonna ask you about a special you guys are doing for the holidays.
So because of our relationship with CW, we're doing something that's unprecedented. For $19.99, we're going to do a uniform and a month of training, and that's available as a gift certificate too. So if someone wants to give a really meaningful and important gift for somebody, $20, that's a 75%.
Children and adults.
Children and adults.
How cool!
At
What a
all
great
3 locations.
way.
Yeah.
Oh, there's 3. Wow, what a great way to get started. Thanks you guys so much for joining us. This is
Always nice to have you.
It's always nice to have you, yes. This is Charles and Billy who join us from the Academy of Hua Rangdo. We're going to be back with more Girl Talk here at Bella Domicile. Stick around.